Happy, and this is Who Dares Rolls, and this is the board game Mumbo Jumbo for the first week of July. So, here we are again, more of the same. You may just have seen, if not, I think dropped in the last day or so, was my board game Purge video, which is the games I purged to go, there will be a follow-up video to that, but you need to watch the first one first if you want to see what I was getting rid of. But before all of that, before we go any deeper into the realms of news and other stuff, what have I been playing? Paid games. Yes, not a lot, to be honest with you. Dug into some stuff. So Friday night we gathered and we played some Caverna. Now Caverna, those of you who are not in the know, was kind of the side call to Agricola, which is also known as Misery Farm. So what you've essentially got is, they're both worker placement games of you building a farm. In Caverna you can also dig into some caves. In Agricola there is a brutal mechanism for you to feed your people. So the more people you breed the more people you breed. That's kind of what you do. You've got cattle and sheep and all that. You can breed all these various things, but also the more you're larger, your clan grows in babies and that in there, the more you've got the mouths to feed. And it is a punishing mechanism in Agricola. Pretty much murders your score and everything if you can't keep up with that and also everything you need to do to score. It's a real tight engine of trying to sort all that stuff out. It's a tough beast. Subsequently, they released Caverna, which kind of it just did away with that hunger. It's in there, but it's very much detoothed. It's not nearly as punishing and brutal as it is in its brother game. Anyway, so we played Caverna. As I say, it's this more sort of sort of leisurely play of this worker placement, building a farm or stuff and things. And there's lots of nice stuff to do. And I've played it a few times. I played it again. There was I want to say 5 of us playing it, I think. A couple of hours played, clearly. Bob wasn't happy. He's not a fan of worker placement games. And it wasn't about 2/3 into our game of Caverna where he went, ugh, now I remember, I don't like this game. I was like, oh, and he kind of focused on one thing. Because the board is spread across you've got all different tiles to look at, and he couldn't be asked to stretch over and that. We had them on our phones, we were kind of glancing at stuff. I came second, I think. And I was brought to the end of Caverna, and I kind of left with the overriding thing of going, it's all right, but actually I get what a lot of people have now said, is that Agricola, with that more punishing scoring system and the hunger and all that sort of stuff, actually makes it a much more interesting game. Caverna is so kind of nice. It just is it's a bit like kind of just a nice puffy sleeping bag, and you kind of enjoy it and it's nice, and then you finish it and you go, that's nice. But it doesn't really challenge you. You're going to score points, you're going to get points at the end of the game, maybe not as much as someone else, but you're going to get them, whatever you do, and you've got a variety of routes. And it's fun, it's entertaining, it's perfectly fine. We were going to play with the expansion, which gives you asynchronous starting characters, and you have like Davis, and they look kind of cool because I was going to be these dark elves who look like a bunch of potheads, but we're all Ben Henry with them all, so we never yet ended up playing with that. So maybe we'll come back and play that at some point, possibly, but with Bob, probably not. Then straight after that, we played a game of Fluff, which I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, which is the £1 dice. It's Liar's dice, essentially. It's available in the pound shop. And we played a game of it, and it was fun. And Bob, I think, said, how is it that this game, which cost £1, is more fun, the game that we just spent the last 2 hours playing? And I had to a certain degree, agree with him. I really did. To a certain degree, I kind of had to side and go, you know what, he has a point. This is more fun than what we just did. It was all right, but this is more fun. It was more, everyone was involved, interactive. It was good fun. And I still strongly recommend, if you can track one down, pick one up for a quid. It's bonus. Lovely. So there we go, that's it. I think let's do some board game news, shall we? Why not? Board game news. Here is the news. So board game news, Pandasaurs have announced that they'll do Machi Koro 2, which I'll be honest with you, I've never played Machi Koro. It was one I always was kind of interested in playing. Then they brought the Legacy version out, and I was kind of interested in playing that. But then I heard that wasn't very good. But I've never actually played it, never actually owned it, and it kind of was really big, and then it kind of lost its hype. So there's Machi Koro 2. Maybe potentially I'll dive in. I don't know. I've never played them. So if you've played Machi Koro, are you excited about that? Is it something I should be worried about? I don't know. Even now I'm like, nah. But there's something. Then this trailer dropped.
My child, I watched with pride as you grew into a weapon of righteousness. Remember, our line has always ruled with wisdom and strength. And I know you will show restraint when exercising your great power.
How fucking cool is that? Kind of excited about that. I am an unapologetic ex-Warcraft junkie. And I still play a ton of Hearthstone. And the tease is always there for Warcraft. This Lich King was the best of probably the Warcraft expansions. I think it kind of peaked at that point. I'd never played any of the actually variations of. There's a Cthulhu version of this. Maybe this is what this kind of uses. But I've only ever played the legacy ones, other than the vanilla version of Pandemic, and never really played it in the others. But this looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Lich King, World of Warcraft. I'm tempted. Does it mean we're going to see more? Well, maybe we'll see more games. Maybe Z-Man have got the license to more Warcraft games. Interesting. I've definitely piqued my interest there. Warcraft, Pandemic. I'm on board for possibly. I think I might be on board for. I'm an unapologetic fanboy. I can't help it. I'm sorry. And then this is really cool. And I meant to mention this the other week, and I completely forgot about it. So I'm going to throw it in now. It's coming, I believe, towards Essen. I think this is coming out. It's Fight Club, the home game it's called. And it looks really cool. It's a two-player game, which is usually an issue for me because I don't play very many two-player games. However, it's a two-player game, and based on the Fincher Fight Club, or Chuck Perhale, I can't even say his name at the moment. Pahulak. Anyway, Chuck, who wrote Fight Club. I haven't read any of his books for ages, but he did a bunch of stuff. Fight Club I loved. David Fincher, it came out, I want to say 90s. I think it was late 90s it came out, possibly. Edward Norton, Brad Pitt. Just really stylized, great movie. It still stands up beautifully now. It's fantastic stuff. And a bit nihilistic and it's just kind of a bit messed up, but it's a cracking movie. Aesthetically great, and this ball game seems to be evoking a lot of the aesthetics of the movie. It's basically a two-player game where you play the part of the consciousness of Tyler Durden and the narrator, Edward Norton's character, and you're kind of biff-boffing between the two of them, either trying to buy all the IKEA furniture for your apartment or create Project Mayhem and just bring the world down around you, burn it to the ground. It's very weird, very cool. It's perfectly evokes the theme. It looks kind of cool. Art design looks really nice on this. And just purely as a curio, because I really like Fight Club. I'm very tempted to pick it up anyway when it comes out. I will keep an eye out because it looks kind of cool and it's a cool concept. And it does seem to be channeling that inner Fight Club stuff. So that's one I'm going to recommend purely because I just think it looks kind of cool. So I saw a couple of days ago Richard Donner had passed. He's a film director, and you know what? After I'd seen him pass, I thought, you know what? Even though I probably knew it, I'm going to verbalise it anyway. It's how big a fan I am of Donner's work and how maybe an underappreciated film director he was. Maybe he wasn't, but I mean, he doesn't get the acclaim other film directors did. So Donner, I mean, he started with The Omen, which was just fantastic, a real slick, channeling from the back of The Exorcist, this kind of slick Hollywood horror movie about the Antichrist. It kind of predated Final Destination and all those kind of intricate deaths. And he did it much better than any of the Final Destinations did, with just a smoother, slicker, just more stylized, just more class to them. The Omen still stands as a cracking movie. I love it. The soundtrack is to die for, as it were. It's brilliant setups, great cast. So that's great. He went on. He did Superman. I mean, Superman laid the groundwork for where we are now of modern superhero movies. I know that Kevin Feige, who is now the head honcho at Marvel, was under the tutelage of Donner in the early days from some of the stuff he did. So, I mean, he did lay the groundwork that I know produced the X-Men movies. Take that or leave them, the early ones. They were right. And then he went on to do Lethal Weapon. And Lethal Weapons are fantastic. Granted, the Riggs character of Mel Gibson's Riggs character kind of is detoothed and softened for the subsequent sequels, but the first couple especially, cracking action, 80s excess, slick, good action. I mean, some of the shots he did are fantastic. It's just effortless directing of his. It just kind of looks cool. It kind of is. It's kind of grounded, and you enjoy it, and it's fun, and it's really well done. And he just did that sort of shit without even thinking about it, it feels like to me. And then, of course, he did Goonies, which is a lot of people grew up on and love a bit of Goonies. So, yeah, really sad to see Richard Donner gone. I know he announced that he was doing a fifth Lethal Weapon. That's going to be his retirement thing. So I don't know whether that is now going to go ahead or that's just never going to happen, which kind of probably shouldn't happen, really. Probably shouldn't happen, really. I think we've kind of capped that with Lethal Weapon 4. That was kind of stretching credibility to a point. But yeah, Richard Donner, really sad to see him go. Sad times. Which leads me to a certain extent, and this is a wonderful segue into really lung-handed into this unboxing for Goonies Never Say Die from Funko Games, Prospero Hall. This is coming out kind of now. It's got a Target exclusive. You're sat there going, what are you doing with that? How did you get hold of this? Well, randomly, the other week, I was thinking, oh yeah, I need to maybe track this down for the missus for her birthday, possibly. But I thought, she doesn't play board games. I'm just buying it for me. So I just thought I'd get it anyway. Saw it on Amazon as an exclusive for about 20 quid, which, for this. And I was like, that's the new Funko Goonies game. So I ordered it, and it took about a week or two to arrive. It's received a bash or two in the corner. It's come from Switzerland, randomly, is what it says on the package. I have no idea. Anyway, Goonies, Never Say Die, Target exclusive. I think it's now coming out in the States. I do not know when it's getting the UK release. I imagine soon. But I managed, through some weird happen chance, to get on a copy of it. So I thought I'd have a look, and I like the stuff Prospero have done. They did Jaws, they've done some really good stuff. This aesthetically looks really cool. I mean, look, the inside of the box has just got loads of kind of cool illustration stuff going on. I love the design. So this is kind of cool. This is the board. It's got a nice quote from the end of Goonies on there. That's the house. This opens up into, I haven't unwrapped this yet. So this game is a 5-player game, but it's one person is like a GM in it, so it's kind of like a dungeon crawl with one person playing the Boondocks Master or something, and the others playing all the Goonies, and they're trying to go through various scenarios. There's like a campaign you play. This is kind of cool. I do like them. They just add nice little bits of thematic stuff. So we've kind of got the Goonies. That's the Goonies. Have you seen the Goonies? That's what the Goonies is. It's the board, which kind of looks funky cool. It's all kind of, I don't know, it's all set in the Goonie stuff. That was made no sense. So it's kind of cool. There's instruction, the rules. There's quite a lot going on in this one, actually. Quite a lot of rules stuff happening. I skimmed it and look at it. There's a lot happening. A lot going on. There's the adventure guide, which is the GM we use, which has got the scenarios in it. It's got some maps and scenarios and how that all functions there. You got this kind of cool GM screen, which is kind of a nice touch. You can see it in front of you doing your Goonie GMing. Seems to have a lot of interesting bits and pieces on the back there. That's kind of cool. Nice punch board tokens, loads of those. Really like the colours, really bright, and lots of kind of all sorts of stuff going on. Lots of extra map tiles and characters and things. Plastic Goonie characters. Every game, including the giant octopus, which was a cutscene in the original Goonies. You've got the Frattanis, you've got a couple of the Goonies there, and all of them. I think there's an expansion pack coming out with the rest of the Goonies, the older kids, Goonies characters. We've got some really cool dice with kind of etched dice with skulls and stuff on it, and they're kind of cool, funky looking colours. Some stands for the cardboard chits that we're going to pop out. And then we got a set of cards, GM. So these are kind of, I don't know, cards. Then character boards, which are kind of cool. They've got the Goonies on it and stuff like this. All the main characters, I think Chunk, Malf and Mikey, I think are the 3 main Goonies, and Sloth's in there as well. And then and Data, actually. I don't know who's in there. I'm just saying random words. And some more cards. But yeah, generally, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's quite a heavy box, and it's really well put together. I do like they did with the Jaws and other stuff. They kind of have some really cool thematic little touches there. If you are a fan of the franchise or whatever, there's stuff just layered in there to enjoy. They did the same with the Back to the Future game. So Goonies, cool. Never Say Die. It's heavy. It's really good. If you can pick this up at a reasonable price, it does seem a bit of a no-brainer. I've not played or done anything, and it does look quite involved compared to some of the other stuff they've done. It's definitely a step up in rules complexity. But maybe I think this could be one I can get her indoors to play. Love a bit of that. When they get around and produce the Karate Kid board game, then we're talking. Oh, yes. So that's about it. But yes, to wrap up some stuff, what I've been watching. So I've been watching a bit of Loki. Still enjoying Loki. It's nicely done. Nicely put together. Great cast. Really good acting going on there. Like to see how that pans out. In fact, there's one out tonight. I'll have to watch it. I watched The Tomorrow War the other day, which is the new Amazon original Chris Pratt movie. Kind of a bit like, it looks like a bit of Edge of Tomorrow did. I will be honest with you. It's a solid 6, maybe 7. It's a dumb popcorn movie. And if you go in expecting just a dumb popcorn movie, then you should be entertained. It is a bit overlong. There's massive plot issues with it, so I don't think too hard about that. If you're going to watch it, just watch it for the nice shiny explosions. The monsters are really cool. I quite like the monster design. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of the creatures from Feast, their mouths and stuff. But you should watch it. Definitely the creature design is really good. There's some pretty epic kind of standout sequences in there. It's a really weird storyline in that there's kind of like this tagged on sequence at the end. It could have gone deeper and darker. And I won't say much else to spoil it in regards to that, but it did feel like at a certain point there was a possibility, as it's dealing with time travel, that they could have gone clearly a much darker, twisted route, which they obviously didn't do. But yeah, as a crowd-pleasing bit of popcorn fun, it's all right. It is a little bit cringeworthy in some of its dialogue. As I say, the science makes no sense whatsoever. And the plot makes no sense whatsoever. But if you forget all that and watch that, then you can enjoy it. Although, to be honest with you, go and watch Edge of Tomorrow, the Tom Cruise game, because that was the movie. That was astoundingly brilliant in comparison to that. Really good. I really enjoyed Edge of Tomorrow. And it kind of made more sense. You could at least half go, okay, the science behind this makes a little bit more sense, and I'm enjoying it more. But yeah, Tomorrow War, fine. It's perfectly fine. Mayhem and action, and yeah, if that's what you want, then you're not going to be disappointed. Then I've got coming out later on the next couple of weeks, a week or two, I've got the reviews of Die of the Dead and Mandala Stones coming. I filmed chunks of it. I've got to do some B-roll stuff of that and get them edited together and get them out. Charlie's got a video of Grail games that he filmed and I have, and I'm editing. I need to drop some more images in for that, and that'll be out soon. This obviously came out. And then we're on the doorstep of potentially the Expo, so I'll possibly do a pre-Expo video. Who knows? I'm kind of like, we suppose we're going. And the football's on right now. Sacrificing that for you people. I should go and see how badly we're losing in a minute. But yeah, have a great rest of the week. Hopefully the football did go well. Well done, the ball foot. And I'll be back next week with more complete nonsense. Oh, and a cry out there to Polyhedron Collider. They hit their 100th podcast episode. If you've not followed Polyhedron, it is a bunch of northern monkeys. They've been going for a while. They turned up at some of the UK Games Expo videos we did a while back. Steve definitely did, and Andy popped up in there. And they discuss everything from home decorating, gardening, and the occasional board game hints and tips in there. So the 100th episode, well done, chaps. Jolly good. Hit the 100. Excellent work. That's that, really, isn't it? Jolly good. Go and give them a listen to and stuff. This is it. I've made Mike B. This has been Who Does Rolls. This has been another Mumbo Jumbo for another week in July. Here we go again. I'll catch up again very soon. Until then, have fun, play some games, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Ta-da!